Hey everybody, Mike Steele here with Barbecue Champs Academy. We're looking to have a great show tonight with one of the world champs, Mr. David Bouska with Butcher Barbecue. He was a 2018 American Royal Reserve Grand Champion and also finished up that year strong, winning the Jack Daniel's Barbecue Invitational as well. So with the American Royal coming up, we figured this is a great time to start getting some of our cooks that have done very well at the Royal to kind of give you guys some tips and tidbits and prepare you a little bit more for it. So we're looking to have a great show with Mr. David Bouska. The guy is just full of knowledge. I absolutely enjoyed doing his class when he was here, and I'll tell you what, we're going to be able to pick his mind a little bit. So if y'all have got questions for David, certainly let us know, and we will we'll certainly ask away. First of all, we'll go in, give people a few minutes to get in. Got them lining up already. Got Mr. Scott on here. Scott, appreciate you always being here. Can always count on you, and John as well. I hope things are going well for both of y'all. And Mary, appreciate you being here. I got two people already on here from Wisconsin, so we appreciate y'all always being here. We're looking to have a great show tonight, and if y'all have any questions, once again for David, obviously let us know about it, because we want to try to reach out to as many people as we can, getting questions and things answered. And just come on in, let us know. David, hey buddy, we appreciate you being here. Looking for a great show tonight, and got folks steadily coming on. I knew these guys were always going to be here. Chuck and Vanessa is always with us. Papa Joe Grilling Supplies in Hutto, Texas. And I tell you what, it's going to be a great show. That's absolutely for sure. So going to give folks a few minutes to get here while everybody is coming in. I do want to let everybody know that I'm probably not going to be able to be on the show next Tuesday. I am traveling down to El Campo, Texas for the Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation Cook-Off that Joey Smith is putting on. It's going to be a great event, and I'm probably going to end up leaving out of here Tuesday afternoon. I'm heading down to Navasota. It's about 80 miles north of El Campo, and I'm going to have some disc brakes put on my trailer. I just don't like the stopping power, the lack of stopping power that it has. And there's an RV shop there that's about 80 miles north, and they said, hey, if you get here first thing Wednesday morning and you got all the brakes, we'll get them installed and get you out the door that day. I normally tackle stuff like that with all the years of racing, but it's too dadgum hot for me to be crawling around underneath that trailer and figuring out how to get all those disc brakes on it. And for the money that they was going to charge, I was like, you've got it. So we're probably not going to be able to make it next week. I am going to reach out maybe to John Lindsay and see if he wants to co-host the show. And I'll let everybody know if we're going to be able to do that. Got folks steadily coming in. Rick, man, I tell you what, buddy. If I recall, you tore them up again this weekend, and you are just absolutely been on fire. So congratulations. I know you had another outstanding weekend. Matt, appreciate you being on here as always. Danny, thank you for being here. Be Extreme Barbecue, always in the house. Hector, let's say hello, Del Rio, Texas. Also rolling to the American Royal for my first time. Great. Hope they don't shut us down. Yeah, I'm hoping we're too far into it, Hector, for them to be shutting us down. We'll certainly ask David if he's heard anything about it. You're going to have a blast. Hopefully David can share some little tips and preparing you to go. It is a big event. There's a lot of stuff to do up there, and we're going to certainly kind of pick David's mind. So if anybody's got questions about that, especially if you're going to the Royal, let's get it straight from the man who probably has cooked more of these things than I've even cooked. So it's going to be a lot of fun. John, appreciate you being here once again. Let's see, getting ready to smoke a pig for my birthday in September. That's going to be awesome. I know you're going to absolutely do a good job with that. And let's see what else we got. Make sure and stop by to see us. Yep, Papa Joe Grilling Supplies has always got everything loaded. Don't want to miss going by there if you're needing supplies. Blake, we appreciate you being here. Mr. Terry Roan, thank you for being here tonight. Lucen, thank you for being here with us. And Mike, all the way from Ohio, thank you for being here. Alan Jackson, thanks for being here as well. Let's real quick jump over here to our sponsors. You know, I always say this week in and week out, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but we really couldn't do what we do without the support of all of these guys here. Danny Helm with Be Extreme Barbecue has been with us since day one a huge supporter of Barbecue Champs Academy. We appreciate him and the fine products that him and Terry's got. Had a great time last week with Terry. I tell you what, that guy is just absolutely one of the most consistent steak cooks I think that is out there week in and week out. He always is doing good. B&B Charcoal, appreciate those guys being on board with Barbecue Champs since day one. Lone Star Barbecue Pro Shop, Mr. Brian Crawford, he's also got some awesome Crawford barbecue products as well. So check them out. It's LoneStarBarbecueProShop.com. As we just mentioned a couple times already, Papa Joe Grilling Supplies in Hutto, Texas. If you need any kind of grilling supplies, they carry probably every rub that our steak cookers use. And I would imagine they probably have about 85-90% of the barbecue rubs that we use in our class. And we always appreciate them. Anytime that you're in the classes, you've got logos that are right up underneath the videos of all of these. You can just, if you see something that these guys or gals, we got Shauna and Marissa in here. If you see something they're using, the cool thing is while you're right there watching the video, as soon as you close the video, you can click the link and go right into their website. That makes it super easy. People really have appreciated us doing that. Also, Mr. David at Gunter Wilhelm Knives. I tell you what, I just am so impressed with those knives. Every time I go and start trimming my brisket and ribs, I get that 8-inch chef knife out, and that thing will cut up a brisket better than anything I've ever seen and holds its edge absolutely awesome. Mr. John Lindsay and Ronald Burns, Arcasipi Combo, they've got their new website out. It's steakrubs.com. I can't believe that I left the S off of that. But steakrubs.com. If you haven't seen, John has got, and Ronald got a new website up here about a week and a half ago. It's steakrubs.com, and they've got a whole host of all the Arcasipi Combo rubs, and the Hottie Toddies are going to be carrying a lot of barbecue stuff. I would imagine at some point they're going to be reaching out to David. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't even try to start stocking some of David's stuff as well. Be sure to check them out. Also, Dustin down at the barbecue store in Hempstead, Texas. Dustin, once again, is always wanting to know all the rubs and things that our guys are using. He's always, just like the rest of them, trying to have everything to where we have a one-stop shop for everybody to be able to get supplies. But we do really appreciate all of our sponsors and partners here for Barbecue Champs. So we got a few more folks that have popped in. Let's see who we've got. Big Jim, thank you, buddy, for being here. Glad you made it. Jacob, thank you for being here. No rule for me this year, but hopefully next year I'll be there. Let's see. Lynn's Meat Varnish Barbecue Company. Hello all. Thank you for being here. Jason, thank you for being here. Jambo Jr. in the house. So, yeah, how about that? Glad to have you with us, Jason. Really do appreciate it. So, I tell you what, some absolute fine pits that Jamie builds. There's no question. I've been watching a lot of Barbecue Pitmasters the last 4 or 5 days. Season 1, Season 2. My wife's been recording them. We've been watching them when they went to Royal, and saw a lot of Jamie cooking, especially with Trig and stuff, and talking about the pits and stuff like that. Absolutely Cadillac of a cooker, no doubt. Merv, appreciate you being here. Let's see who else we got. Chris Hobbit had to go change name on the account. Okay, Chris, we appreciate you being here, man. I think you was one of the first persons that I think you won a class, if I recall. The very first night that we launched Barbecue Champs, that weekend we gave a class, and I think you got a Rubbery Royal brisket class. Let me know if my memory serves me well. So, hey, look at who else we got here. Mr. Lee Hickles in the house. Lee, appreciate you being here. Man, you have been absolutely tearing it up. Congratulations on another great weekend cooking up in Georgia. If you haven't been noticing, hopefully you have, Lee's been going live at all of these events that he's at. We had over 1,400 people watch the award ceremony up there in Georgia this past week. Appreciate everybody checking in to be able to watch all that. Look who else we got here. Mr. Phillip Breeden. Phillip, good to have you here on the show tonight, buddy. We appreciate it. I know you cooked up, I think, in Colorado this weekend. Looks like you had a pretty good outing as well. Chris Cheney, thank you for being here. That's another Barbecue Champ Academy alumni. He has taken some classes, and I know he has done very well. I think for sure he's taken Lee's class, and maybe I think he took Joey's brisket class. So appreciate you being here. Manny, thank you for being here. And I tell you what, cannot wait It's going to be a great show. Without any further ado, let's bring in the man, the myth, the legend that we all want to be like, Mr. David Bouska. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing it. Thanks a lot.
We appreciate you being here, David. Looks like we got quite a few folks already on. Hopefully, we're going to have a few more folks have some questions for you. So, I am looking so forward to picking your brain a little bit. I'm sure others are as well. But just to let everybody know a little bit about you, is David Bouska with Butcher BBQ. I know you've been a butcher for well over 30 years, if I recall. Is that correct? About 34 years?
That is correct. That's what we did. That was our livelihood. It started when I was 15 years old.
Okay. To let you know how decorated this guy is, we can just flash up a couple things. He is a two-time world barbecue champion. In 2018, he had an absolute incredible year. In 2018, he was the reserve grand champion at the American Royal. About 6-7 weeks later, he got I think he had an automatic bid. You already had 7 grand champions, and you got the automatic draw, didn't you? I remember you was tearing it up. And he got the automatic draw into the Jack, and he grand champion about 6-7 weeks after the American Royal. So a banner year to get a reserve grand champion at the American Royal, 6-7 weeks later go to the Jack and grand champion that. Congratulations, man. And I know that gave you your second world champion. So if there's anybody that can school us, help us, teach us, prepare us, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. David Bouska. So got a few folks on here asking. Phillip says hello to you. And Papa Joe Grilling Supply. Hey, David, the best of the best. Great talking with you the other day. Let's see. Jody Harris says hello. And
I was waiting for it. She's just sitting up north of us here.
There you go. Jennifer Greer. Hello, Jimbo's daughter Alana is here as well. So we got the whole Greer family here. I tell you what, I've seen a lot of them here in the last week because we've been watching all the barbecue pitmasters. We haven't got the episode yet with you, and I haven't got to the episode yet with Robbie Roy, but we're hoping to get there. So anyway, let's see. Congratulations on your accolades. David is a barbecue stud. No doubt this guy has got it going on. Let's see. How is everybody doing? Hello, David. Jennifer wants to know how everybody's doing. So, Lee Hickle, David's class is definitely a game changer. No doubt. This man knows what he's talking about. David, let's dive into a little bit. Let's talk just a little bit of about barbecue, how you kind of got started, what you did to really kind of perfect the art of barbecue. You know, to me, barbecue is a science. It's an art. Obviously, you had a lot of knowledge being a butcher. So was you able to take some of that techniques and I guess not techniques so much, but the anatomy of how to break everything down and use it to your advantage?
Well, yes, no, kind of, maybe. It's kind of a snowball generic answer, but breaking meat down doesn't really do HCBS cooking a lot. I mean, we cook brisket. It's not like we cook all the other muscles.
Right.
They come in pretty well like they are chicken, same way. The advantage it did help me was when we did all the pitmaster shows, it would give you something unique or different or didn't care how you cooked it. Well, we were able to make that happen in a lot of different ways that a lot of people couldn't. But
yeah,
what started was I actually shot a lot of competitive archery. This side.
Yeah, I see it.
Back into it. And I had blew my back out, had a surgery, really messed it up severe. And those old male competitive juices were still flowing. And, you know, I had to win at something. And let's be real, the wife's not going to let me win with anything at the house. So that's not at the house to win at anything.
Right.
So I happened to just run across an ad in a local paper and seen a barbecue contest in Stillwater. And me and Wilma went up, walked around on Friday, and man, I just thought, man, I can do this. I really enjoyed it. Then Martin and I, my brother, we went back up on Saturday and we stayed all the way to the end. I think we were watching people pull out before we ever left. I was making notes of what other people had, what they what I thought they were using. You name it, I was making notes, and the smokers I had in the shop were Southern Prides,
Right.
and so I went with one that resembled it a lot, and that was the FEC 100. And I still cook on that very same cooker that I started with is still in my trailer. I've added to it, but the first one I took to a cook off, I still have today. But
Really?
yeah, it's still the same one. I just it works, so why change? That's just kind of the way I've been.
Yeah.
Um, but we just kind of got started doing a lot of test cooking at the house. I took notes, notes after notes after notes, played with the different grades of meat, utilized the different types of cooking, and I just took just tons of notes. What didn't work? What did I get out of it? What changed when I would make them a change? Why did it? And then try and put notes together. Well, I did this on that one, and it changed this. I want that effect if I do this here. So I would do a whole different style of testing and see if I could get the same results. But without taking notes, I'd have never remembered all of it.
Right.
I got the education of a butcher block. So I've got to read back on stuff. So,
You're terrible. Oh. So just good notes and just a lot of testing. So how long? So you kind of did like me. My wife and I went to a competition. I had a huge career in drag racing, and when I hung up the helmet, it was about a year later, and that itch was like, I got to get out and do something. And this was in 2012. We had been watching Barbecue Pitmasters. I know I saw you, I saw Robbie, all of them. Myron, Johnny, Jamie, all of them. Leanne. And she was like, "Well, you like to barbecue, maybe we need to go to a competition." And I always wanted a rotisserie smoker like your Southern Pride. I just wanted a little rotisserie, and I found one in the paper, or it was on Craigslist. I called. He said, "Man, I've already sold it." And I was like, "Doggone it!" And he was like, "What do you want to do?" I was thinking about doing some competition. He said, "Come over here to Dallas. We got a competition in 2 months. Come hang out with me." And I called him up like a week before, and he said, "Nope, I didn't get my new pit built. Go anyway." So we went, told the lady we was thinking about doing. She said, "Well, you need to come judge." So we judged, and like you, just sitting around all day, and we really enjoyed it. And I ordered my smoker. 9 months later, I got it, and we made that our first competition. We went back to that as our very first competition. The next year, I had a first place brisket and 11th place rib, finished third overall with 50 teams, and I was like, heck, I'm hooked. So, it's crazy, but it was fun. And so how long you went, and it was a year later, and I had never cooked a lot of brisket. I only cooked like one brisket my entire life, but when I got my smoker, I cooked 12 briskets. I cooked 4 at a time, trashed the first 4, next 4 got a lot better. They were tough, dry, like, man, what the heck, and got the next 4 a little bit better flavor profile, cooked another 4, and I was like, I think I've got a pretty dadgum good flavor here. This one, because every one was a different recipe. I was like, this one's really good. I'm going to cook this and go over there and get a first place. So how long did you cook before you jumped into the competition?
my first contest was about 4 months after I attended Stillwater. That was the first one I went to. I mean, I just went that summer.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so about 4 months later. So when you came back, you was starting to test and try things and try to get everything dialed in. Yeah, that's a pretty cool deal. Well, I got a question. What breed of pork do you think is the best?
That's a generic question. Are you talking about raising them, selling them, eating them, cooking them? I'm going to assume more when you say cooking, seeing as how we're on a cooking show.
Yeah, let's say, which breed of pork is the best cooking, taste, flavor-wise?
I don't know of a breed that's one over another. There's a lot of heritage pork out there that is very large in that. There's some that's not, that you still have a lot of marbling. So as far as breeds, I've stuck with a lot of Duroc pork, but I've not used their ribs a lot. Every time I cook their ribs, with my cooker, I could never get the flavor that I needed deep inside the meat with pellet cooking to get inside of a smaller slab. It wasn't in there long enough before it started drying out. So I always had to go through a larger rib than what Duroc puts out. Because it's a smaller breed.
He said flavor. So yeah, the Durocs do have a really good flavor, but man, you got to be careful because they get real dry and milly tasting, don't they? Is that the way yours were coming out? Kind of dry, and the texture was grainy, milly. Is that what you?
In the pork, but no.
No, in the rib.
Yeah, in the ribs, yes, because
Yeah.
Like I said, to get to penetrate the ribs with any pellet cooking flavor without artificially putting it in, they have to be in there a while before you go to wrap them. And if they're in there that long with any heat or any lack of heat, they're going to dry out.
Yeah.
So I do everything under the sun to try to utilize that, and I never mastered it. So I had to stick to a large rib. That was obvious for me.
Yeah, that was it. Another question that popped up since we're talking about products and this and that. What new product can we expect from Butcher Barbecue?
I've actually got 3 in the mix, but I'm not sure I'm going to bring any of them out till after Christmas.
Okay.
We've got a ton of stuff going on. I'll just say this. The gift boxes have went crazy this year for me. And with the way the world is trying to get supplies, and I don't mean due to COVID, it had nothing to do with COVID. So let's not get everybody on that bandwagon.
Right.
Back when that freeze came through back in March, April, when everything got like negative 20, 30 degrees, it froze out a lot of Texas, and everybody remembers that. Well, it froze out the plants that they use to make plastic. That is the shortage we're up against right now.
Yeah.
So finding this right stuff is what's important to me right now. We've got a large stack of POs for gift boxes for the holidays right now. And I'm concentrating on getting that. I got to get the supplies in right now to start filling those orders in September.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing I'm concentrating on. I'm not stopping anything new. I have been playing with, see this cabinet right back here? I can open up the doors and new products will fall out of it. I just won't have time to stop and just do it. You can have a million good ideas and a million good flavors, but if there's not a market for it, does it do any good?
Right, exactly.
So at this point, I'm not going. I have a huge market for it. Just got to buy time to be able to give it the ample opportunity. The coffee rub is the latest, along with our chicken brine. Those are the 2 that we put out latest, and I'll probably ride those for a while. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Matt Overson, one of our state cookers, he was the 2019 points champion, and here in the United States. And he said, how many years has David been at the Royal? I'm going on 14 years and never met him. I will come say hi to him this year. Yes. So how many years you been cooking the Royal, David?
It's the first time we went was in 2007. We missed 1 year in 2019. My dad passed away.
I remember that.
But we've made it ever since. Yeah. So 14, 15, somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah. Wow. Well, make sure, Matt, you go see David. And that's the cool thing. We're going to have a great time. All the barbecue champs alumni, or not alumni, all the barbecue champs, pit masters. Matt is going to be there cooking steak, I think, on Thursday or Friday night. He's going to be cooking a steak. And so it's going to be great to get all of the guys together. Our film crew is going to be there. Clint and John's going to be there. We're going to be doing some filming. We're probably going to try to do some live stream. They got some really cool cameras, I think, that'll go live. And so we may try to do some live stream as well, and give some behind-the-scenes look into everything that people are doing, each one of the barbecue guys are doing. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really, really excited. So I'm looking forward to it. If anybody's got any questions now for David, not necessarily about obviously if you got any questions about the American Royal, and if you're competing, if you need to know some pointers, some tips and stuff like that, we're going to kind of start opening that up to David and addressing it. And but if there's something that we miss, obviously we want you to come out and let us know. Let's see, gift boxes, you say, David Bouska. I know a guy. Yeah,
Yes,
that's hilarious. So let's see,
I
I'm
are
cooking.
boxes from. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So Matt's gonna be cooking steak, barbecue, and whole hog in the OBR area. Okay. All right, David. So got a little bit about barbecue stuff. We know your background. We know, you're the mad scientist back there with all the spices, the rubs, the sauces, and everything else. Your flavor combinations, the way you do all that stuff is absolutely unbelievable. But now going to the American Royal, leading up to the week before, because I just got through looking at the schedule. I've got a competition next weekend. I'm off a week. There's one coming up that I really want to go to. It's Labor Day weekend, and it's a big payout. But to me, it's when I get back, there's that 1 week, and then I'm leaving on Tuesday. And I just feel like that I'd be pushing myself. I don't cook KCBS. I've cooked one KCBS competition in my life. That was in 2017 at the American Royal. First one that I ever cooked. Showed up there, and I had a great time and did very well. I had a 7th place pork. I finished 19th in the invitation out of 120 teams with a 696.56 score. And I was like, well, man, this is great. And I finished 96 in the open out of 500 teams. And I think I had a 27th place brisket in the open, a 24th place brisket in the invitation. I've never cooked a KCBS competition since, and I still haven't cooked one. And Lee Hickle was on me the other day, are you going to practice any? And I was like, nah, probably not. My ribs and brisket, I've got that down. I just pull it just 10, 15 minutes earlier. I'll be good. I will probably cook some chicken thighs. Pork butt, man, I had a 7th place. What do I need to worry about? I haven't cooked a pork butt since. But I feel like it's a little, I feel like it's a little rushed. I just want to roll out there. I'm going to cook my stuff that I've been cooking, and I'm trying. Now I will say I'm going to probably cook one of the Barbecue Pitmaster's chicken recipes for thighs, because I don't cook thighs. I'm running my brisket. I'm running my ribs. They have been crushing it. I'm going to do the same stuff that I do to my ribs for my pork butt. Is that good or bad? It's pork, right? Is that good? Or do I need to cook a pork butt class? Or maybe I'll just go cook the pork butt class that I did in 17. Who knows? But I am going to try a chicken. And I'm trying to find, I've got a lot of chicken classes to look through. I'd really like the technique that you had on chicken. Corey had a really good technique on thighs. And Robbie Royal had a really good thigh. Those were just, I know a couple of Mark's done legs. Sterling's done legs. And I almost want to do the legs. They're just so much easier, but it just seems like thighs always seem to score better. I don't know why, and maybe you can answer that. So we'll ask that question a little bit later. I'll ask you about that. But leading up to it, because I'm going to be the week before, and I'm probably going to cook some chicken thighs, just to get a little bit of timeline for that. But how do you prepare and prep coming up a week or 2 weeks out of the Royal? What is your mindset? What are you doing? What are you thinking? Talk us through that. Let us know.
Well, first off, I don't wait till a week out.
Oops. Okay.
Wait till a week out.
Okay. Let me get my paper out. I need to start taking notes.
Right now in my freezer, I've got everything purchased as far as briskets, butts, and ribs. The only thing I don't have is chicken, because I'll always buy it fresh. But
Okay.
I've been culling through. I bought 6 cases of butts a few months back, and I culled through them, and I put the ones back I wanted for the Royal. Those are set aside. Ribs, I've got plenty of ribs. I will go through them. But now I've got all the big meats and the ribs set aside. I purchased my briskets. They came in 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago.
Yep, I saw you post.
Yeah, probably 2 weeks ago. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I have got everything purchased. I'm not going to wait till the end. If you procrastinate, you'll be at one point, not saying it'll happen, but at one point, you're going to get something you're not going to be happy with. And it'll happen. I'm just telling you, from years of doing a contest, there's always one that you look forward to, and sure enough, you always get something sticking in the ribs or your butt.
Yeah. Yeah. I've already got my ribs will be coming to me next week. and my briskets I'm picking up this weekend. Chickens, I'm just going to go to Whole Foods. They got some Bell and Evans. I've heard Bell and Evans are a pretty good chicken. And so I'm probably going to get my chickens when I get back. Go ahead and is it good to? Can you go ahead and prep them and then vacuum seal them and put them in the freezer? Are you good with that, or do you like unfrozen chickens?
I personally like them unfrozen, but you can do that. So let me get this straight. You're going to the Royal, cooking a recipe you've never cooked on chicken. You're going to the Royal.
Well, I'm going to practice chicken.
Cooking chicken you've never cooked before.
Yeah, I'm going to practice the week before. I'm going to probably cook 2 or 3 batches. I am going to practice chicken because I don't cook chicken thigh. I've cooked chicken thighs one time at the American Royal in 2017. I did practice before I went, and I did get the bite through skin and stuff like that. But no, I am going to practice my chicken, and I'm not going to practice my ribs or my brisket. I know exactly when they need to come off on my cooker because I've kind of got it down. So that I've got. Now pork butt, I'm only going to probably turn in money muscles. I doubt I'm going to put in bacon and all that. I did 2 rows of money muscles when I was at the American Royal, and I'm probably going to just do the same thing. So they're only supposed to score you with what you put in the box, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So anyway, a little help over here would be good. So I don't know. I'm going to have fun, and I'm gonna do Mike, and then if I get my butt handed to me again, then there's this company called Barbecue Champs Academy, bbqchamps.com. There's a whole bunch of videos I could get on there and go watch. Yeah, and I could go watch a whole bunch of them and do it, but I'm not going to do that. I am going to cook a chicken, and I will let everybody know which chicken I'm going to be using and which recipe that I will use. So there's some techniques that each one of y'all have got that's a little different that was pretty cool. So I've got to kind of divvy up through that. So since we're talking about chickens, I've got a question. How do you stop rubbery skin on chicken?
You got to cook it hot.
Okay.
Rubbery skin, that's not a judging criteria. It's bite through. My skin is a soft chicken skin, and it still bites through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes.
So don't get hung up on rubbery skin. Make it bite through. Yeah. Don't get hung up on it. That's the biggest thing I can tell you is it's got to be bite through. If it can be bit through, that's what matters.
That's it. Now your chicken, when I bit through that chicken, it just clean bite. It didn't pull off. Juice shot out on me everywhere. And I was like, wow, that chicken was good. So, your chicken was unbelievably good. So, no doubt. Yeah. All right. So, that's how you get by the rubbery skin. Don't worry about that. You won't bite through skin. And he's got some very specific techniques in his class that he shows how to go about getting that. And there was some really cool stuff that I had never in my life seen before. I was like, what are you doing to that chicken, David? Yeah. And you know what it is, and we're not going to say. If you want to know, there's a class. It's bbqchamps.com. Go click David Bouska. David's got an incredible class, and he will show you. Now, one of the things, quick question, since we're talking about that, if I recall, your class that you did was exactly the recipe that you won the 2018 Jack Daniel and the runner-up at the American Royal. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. The difference with the Jack is you must cook white meat. That's part of the Jack Daniel's turn-in for their chicken box. White meat must be cooked. Also.
Oh, white meat must be. Okay.
Must be turned in, not cooked. Must be turned in. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Has to be in the box when you turn it in.
Okay, so when you cook the Jack, you have to do a dark meat and a white meat.
Yes.
Okay, I did not know that. Okay. Well, I remember specifically because I know when we did your class, you released 2 new products that had never been released before. And you said that this was your secret weapon, ace in the hole of the incredible 2018 season you had. I don't know how many, I lost count how many grand champions you had. It had to have been at least 8 or 9. It was a buttload of them. And then you were reserve grand champion of the Royal and you won the Jack Daniel. And you had told me when you came in, you said, I've got 2 new products, and they didn't even have labels. I remember, here's my bottle. I was like, what is this? And it was like, well, we'll talk about it. And then here was my other one, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is freaking the bomb. I was like, what is this? And you told me what it was, and you didn't have labels on it. That's how new it was. You said, it will be out when my class comes out. By the time you get it out, I'll have it to market. And you did. You was about a week after we launched your class, you had it out. And it was absolutely phenomenal. So, so if you're needing help, if you want to know a recipe that will work at the American Royal, David Bouska's got one for you at barbecuechamps.com, bbqchamps.com. His all access gets you all 4 meats. It is as thorough as a class as you could possibly get, and it shows you everything, exactly how he goes about doing it. So, let's see. We got a question here. Do you cook with a team or solo or bring in a runner only? Yeah. So who runs your boxes? And do you say it again?
My brother, Martin.
Okay.
99.9% of the time, he's with me. He'll cook or runs the boxes, helps me build them. I mean, he's just secondhand. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's usually me and him. Levi went, my son, he went with the second round of the Pitmaster shows. I think it was 2016 series as we made. I think he went with me during those, and he filmed those with us. But, yeah, most of the time it's Martin.
Okay. All right.
I'll cook solo maybe 30% of the time, but most time and I don't have a runner. I just kind of do it myself. You know, it's not hard. You just have to plan everything out. But it's Martin or I run solo.
Yeah. All right. Lee's got a question for you. How did you figure out that honey rub was great on food? Your honey rub is phenomenal. Was that an accident? My gosh, that stuff is good. You could put that crap on ice cream and you could put that stuff on ice cream and it would be out of bounds. How did you come up with that? That is an amazing rub.
While we were just doing our test cook for our first contest, I was doing honey in the chicken. I just thought it was great. And I literally thought, well, let's just put it in the rub. It was just one of those, I turned the key and made it happen. And now I think there's about a dozen more out there already. So
yeah, it's good.
I did that back 2006 is when we started doing that.
When you started doing it. Okay. Scott, I hate scraping the skins on chicken. Scott, I hate scraping skins on chicken too. But there's a class that's on Barbecue Champs Academy by David Bouska. You will never scrape a chicken skin and have this most incredible bite-through skin ever, and it is the craziest technique that you've ever seen in your life, and it works. So just to let everybody know, I will be using David Bouska's chicken prep because I absolutely despise scraping them skins. That one year I went, it was pain. I would have rather had bamboo shoot shot underneath my fingernails. That's how bad I hated that stuff. But David has got a technique that is absolutely unbelievable. So I just want to get that out there, just to let you know. Oh, let's see. Legs are very easy to do. I saw that when Sterling did them. I was like, man, them are easy right there. So let's see. Muffin pan. I'm sure Jamie has a lot of muffin pans, especially if he was following Myron mixing around. Myron had the muffin pans going left and right. So let's see. David can get you on the right track. Yep, no doubt he can. So, all right. So here's a question. Let's see. Smart Chicken or Sanderson Farm Chicken are the two best. Yeah, I agree. Those are both pretty good. Okay, here we go. Is there quality and sufficient garnish available in the comp area?
Years ago, they used to have Price Mart or Price Right. Price Choppers, Price Choppers would set up, and you could pre-purchase from them or walk in and just buy from them. I don't know if they're still available now, but there is a ton of stores getting up to it. Just there again, it's one of those plan ahead. I would hate to pull in there and not have it.
Yeah.
Just plan ahead and take it with you.
I bought fresh. I spritzed it with cold water and I wrapped it up and I stuck it in a plastic bag and put it in the refrigerator. And about every day I just a little water on it just to make sure it stayed fresh. That's how I did it. Was that the right way?
Was it parsley?
I did kale.
Kale, yeah. I say parsley to spritz up the parsley and stuff. You can use hydrogen peroxide in the water.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
To liven it up. See there, look at these tricks. I got to write that one down too. All right, so you're prepping up. You've got everything done. You're already prepping now. I don't want to get too far off. I'm trying to answer questions as we're going here. So you're already got all your meats. You've already got all your pork butts picked. You're kind of ahead of the game. We're a month and a week or so out. So or do you do a lot of practice between now and then? Are you so? I mean, I would imagine you're pretty comfortable. You've probably got a baseline. Are you going to cook what you've always cooked? Probably going to go back to that 2018 recipe, or what are you gonna? What's your thought process in the cooking, and then the week leading up to it? Let's start with the cooking leading up to it, or let's start with the cooking. Are you going to do any practicing first?
No, I'm not going to do any changing, any practicing. The week before we got a contest here in Oklahoma, Ponca City, I'll go up and cook that Friday and Saturday and then come home Sunday. That's part of my process is Friday before I leave to that contest, I'll set out all my big meats and have them setting out and ready. That way, when I come in, they'll be thawed out. I'll set them out in the fridge. And Sunday, I'll get up. I will, while it's still cool outside, I'll go out, take all my grates, run them to the car wash, get them all washed off, and kind of clean up the trailer, do what I need to there. And then as it goes to warm up, I'll step inside the old meat shop, and I'll get everything done, vacuumed. I'll get everything 100% done for both categories. I'm sorry, both contests. Get it done, finished, to the side. And then I'll start making my injections. I don't add my injection to the liquid, but I'll get everything mixed up and ready. Make sure all my sauce bottles are full. Make sure all my rub bottles are full. I'll make me a little to-do list at the contest prior to. As I go to run out of something, I'll open up my old handy-dandy smartphone and I'll make a list of things. Oh, I need to get this or that. That way, Sunday, I'm done when I'm done. And Monday is pretty well the same thing. I'll finish up any sauces that I need to finish. I'll pack the trailer with it, wash the dishes, finish that out, get that finished. So Tuesday, I'll go buy garnish. Wednesday, usually I do this on Thursday, but Thursday I'm going to be driving. Wednesday, I'll make up all 8 boxes. I will just get them done and out of the way. And that's one of the things I'd say. If you do any of the side categories, get the boxes made, get them out of the way. Don't take up any of your time at a contest and start having to think of that. But I'll make up all 8 boxes on Wednesday, put them back in the fridge. Thursday, we'll leave and head to the contest. I'm going to pull in anywhere from 6 to 8 at night, drop the trailer. I'll run over to the hotel, stay the night at a hotel. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday we'll be on site. Once I start cooking, I won't leave the site. We'll be around there somewhere.
Okay, so that's leading up to it and everything. So, okay, all right. Well, Chris Davis said David Bouska is a beast. I've met him on multiple occasions, and he's always the most open and honest guy. Sir, your contribution to barbecue is one that will continue long after you're gone. Much respect, sir. That's old Chris Davis. So Chris is a great guy, no doubt. So David is the best barbecue teacher I've been around. That's from Dirk Mullins. So, yeah. Somebody wants to know Sanderson Farm chickens versus Springer Mountain chicken. Do you have a preference in chicken?
If it's those two, I would prefer Springer Mountain. Sanderson Farms, their skin is extremely thick, and it seems like there is a lot of pin feathers left in their chicken thighs. But I myself don't cook either one of those. Okay.
All right. Okay, so prep time. So we see you've got everything done. You've got meats. You're prepping. You've got everything ready. Your mindset when you come in, you've already got boxes already pre-made. So I guess all you have to do, you have to put the meat in the box they provide, right?
Yes.
So you just take and flip those over and just transfer them right over.
I'll put the parsley around the outside. I still take parsley. That's a 25-minute job. I'll just border the outside with parsley, and I'm done.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's leading everything in. What advice can you give to somebody coming into the American Royal and cooking it for the first time?
Stick to your program. Don't get caught as a deer in the headlights world. If you're used to doing something at noon, do it at noon. If it's at 5, do it at 5. There's going to be a lot of parties. There's going to be a lot of come over here, eat supper with me type things going on. If it changes your program, get back to your program and then go eat. You got all night. We eat all each other contest and you don't change it. Don't change it just because it's a Royal. But stop and enjoy it, because when you're driving home that Sunday, you're going to realize that was short. It's still just a doubleheader contest, folks. It's no different than any other doubleheader.
Yeah.
So enjoy it, but do what you're there for. You're there to contest.
That's right.
Concentrate on that.
That's right. Anything that prep wise? Now I know I'll give you one thing that I did, and Anna's on here, and I told her the same. I figured it was going to be pretty warm. We got a lot of ice chests. We got a lot of meats that we're trying to keep cold for a couple, 2 or 3 days. And when I got my spot, I bought, I think it's 20-pound or 50-pound, 20-pound bags of ice. I think it's 20-pound bags of ice. And I bought like 6 or 7 bags of ice, just big bags of ice. I didn't know how it works. So you've got an ambassador. They come around. You call them up. Hey, I need you to bring me something. And the one thing that I ordered was a lot of ice. And I was like, it's $5 a bag or $10 a bag. And I was like, if I have 2 bags, it's too many and I don't use them. What's 10 or 20 bucks when you done spent $2,000? I'd rather have it, right? So I told Anna, make sure you get plenty of ice, because you will go through. I almost went through everything. I think I had 1 bag that I didn't get to. So that's the one advice I can tell you. If you're cooking this thing, make sure you got plenty of ice, and you can get it, and you can pre-order it a lot cheaper than you can when you get there. What other things do you have, David, that that you would recommend? Advice to first-time cookers.
Wow, that's a good question, because I don't do a lot of changing. First-time cookers, do like what you're saying. I'm the kind that I also like to rent one of the porta-johns. I'm sorry, it's just well worth having it there. And when I first went, back when it was down there in the bottoms there in Kansas City, you always had to take an extra lock. Lock up your porta-johns. Lock up anything that is out in Joe Public's eyes, because it can have legs. It'll walk off. I don't know what the public's going to be like this year, but in the past, there's been meat stolen right out of smokers overnight.
Are you kidding?
No. Scotty Johnson with the Cancer Suck Chicago, he had a brisket stolen out of his smoker one year. Yes. It is what it is. So I've got a big banner that goes around the nose of my gooseneck. It snaps on so you don't see the tongue part. We've had to run couples out of underneath that from doing the nasty at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my gosh, are you serious? Oh my gosh.
I woke up one Friday, Saturday night. I couldn't tell you what night it was. Well, what in the heck is going on? And we came out of the trailer, and sure enough, it's like, y'all get the heck out of here.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Crazy world.
Matt says that's the dark side for you. Was it the dark side or the quiet side?
At that point, I was on the side, right by an entrance door.
Okay.
Between the light and the dark side. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is absolutely crazy. Stole a brisket. Man, that dude or gal or whoever it was, probably a guy, better be glad he didn't get caught. Have you ever seen that movie, Fried Green Tomatoes?
Yes.
Yeah, I got a feeling that dude would have been cooked up and served for some barbecue if that had got. Wow, that is crazy, David. I'm glad I know that. At least now when I put my stuff in, I will make sure I'm sitting there with one eye open. That is crazy, man. That sounds like West Bottom Flats, yeah. All right, so what other things? If that's one tip, Porta John, bring a lock, keep an eye on your stuff. Um,
Take chairs to the awards.
oh yes, yes, I
Take
remember
chairs
that.
to the awards. Oh my gosh! And it's hot. It's
Yes, you're
extremely
right.
miserable out there in the sun. And it's moved up to in September, so generally it's been hot here. But back when it was the first and or the second weekend of October, you could be freezing one day and hot the next. So you used to have to take all kinds of clothes to for the weather. We've seen it sleet, snow, and we've seen everybody wanting to wear shorts. So it kind of goes back and forth. Be aware of the
Yeah,
weather. Yeah.
yeah. Dirk says, "Bring a wagon." I remember Matt Overson talked about that at the World Food Champion. Or I keep calling it World Food, the SCA World Champion. One of the things he said, you got a lot of stuff to get. Bring you a wagon. It makes it easier to move things around. So especially for maybe like awards and stuff like that. So let's see. Don't put your coolers where people can see them. Yeah, I had all my coolers kind of sitting out underneath my awning, and I wouldn't have thought people would have come up and stole everything. One of the things that I did for coolers, I had a big 240 quart Yeti style ice chest, right? I mean, it was a monster. And but I was looking at like what I could put in my refrigerator. Of course, obviously, I had the little 6 cubic foot refrigerator with my old trailer. My new one's got a 18 cubic foot. I got a lot of room. I can put everything in it after I've injected everything. But I went online and I found somebody that had like styrofoam ice chest, and they were pretty good size. They weren't little bitty. They were good size ice chests. They were probably 30-inch, 36 inches long, probably at least 36 inches long. And I bought like 4 of them, and I don't remember how much I paid. I think I found them somewhere down in South Louisiana, and they weren't very much. But man, I'll tell you what, David. It really made it because I could inject my brisket. I could put the whole pan in there. I could inject my pork butts. I could put the whole pan down in it. So I had these little ice chests. They were real thick. They were about 1.5 inches thick, insulated ice, just styrofoam. Had to be careful because they weren't rubber coated or anything. But that was one of the things, and I've got them. They're up there in my little loft, and I've saved those. And I was like, if I need them, the good thing is they're light. They only weigh 2 or 3 pounds, right? If that. And I had them, but I had them sitting outside. And now that I know that, I don't leave your coolers out where people can see them. So,
Yeah. Simple bicycle lock hookups with the braided wire goes a long ways. Back 10 years ago, we used to have to put up little partition fences to keep people out of your sight. I don't think that's as bad right now. It may be in other areas, but the part we're in is pretty secluded. But we used to always have to take extra fencing and put that up to keep people out. I don't think it's as bad now.
yeah. Matt says the electric sucks. Don't overload your plugs. Well, I got a 50 amp service, so I should be in pretty good shape. So, yeah, you got to be pretty good. Let's see. Anna wants to know chicken legs or chicken thighs. What have you seen? Dirk posted it, I think, just a minute ago, or somebody did, that at the Royal, it's usually thighs. So has that been your case? Have you seen legs do good at the Royal, or is it usually thighs?
I'm going to be at the Royal. I couldn't tell you. You don't see what anybody else is doing.
Right.
But myself, all I've ever cooked is chicken thighs.
Yeah. I think thighs is just a safer way. I mean, I like the handle. Give me a leg. But I just don't know if. I mean, they're supposed to score what you put in the box, right? So,
hey, good piece of chicken's good piece of chicken. If you've got your recipe and you're timing down for legs, go for it. Don't change it just because it's this one particular contest. It's not any different than what you've been cooking anyplace else. If your chicken legs are great, that's what you need to be cooking.
Right.
But because you're going to second guess yourself trying to cook a thigh the whole weekend.
Right.
And you're going to be pissed off at yourself.
Yeah, cook what you're comfortable with.
Legs, great, cook them. If you can cook thighs, great, cook them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In Arkansas, that's cooked for 20 years. All he ever cooks is chicken breast. Why? Because he's good at it.
He's good at it. Yeah.
Hey,
can you put 3 legs and 3 thighs in a box?
Yes.
You can.
Be 6 pieces.
It's got to be 6 pieces. So it does. Because my wife was playing around. She said, well, have you ever thought about doing half and half? 6 legs, or 3 legs and 3 thighs? I was like, I don't know. I guess you can do it. So it's 6 pieces. So there's going to be one judge that's going to be pissed off. I wanted the leg. And the next thing we'll have a scrap going on at the judge's table of somebody wanting the leg and somebody wanting the thighs. So
that's a funny looking chicken running around, but I mean, 6-legged chicken.
Oh, goodness. Let's see. Anna says, thanks so much for the advice. Jonathan says, there's been a wealth of knowledge for us first timers. Thank you. Yes, I think you're going to, if you're going, Jonathan, you're going to have a lot of fun. I know we're getting close to our hour, but I think we've kind of covered everything. You've kind of led us up to it. The prep, go ahead. You got something else?
Yeah, Jonathan, if you're going to cook for the first time and if you're going to do the open only, not the invitational, still try to get there Friday because the open is Saturday, Sunday. I have seen a lot of people trying to pull in on Saturday, and it is so tight. It is hard. So
hard to
if
get
you
in.
can pull in a little early, the better off you'll be.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
It would still benefit you to get there a little bit early.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. That's why we're getting there Tuesday night. You know, of course, I got a 40-foot trailer, right? I don't want to have a hard time getting that trailer in, so I'm going to get there on Tuesday night. I think check-in is 8 or 10 o'clock, maybe 12 o'clock. I think it's 8. It's either 8 or 10. Seems like we got in pretty early, and that way we can get there Wednesday. So my advice would be, get there as early as you can. If you've never been, it's a great experience. Like I said, I went one time in 2017. I never been up in that area. We got there Wednesday, got into our spot, got our electric hooked up, got our slide outs out, got the air conditioner going, didn't take nothing out. We went into the town. We went to some of the good barbecue restaurants that are, there was one in a gas station. I can't remember what it was. It was the old gas station. Supposed to have real good barbecue. I don't remember the name of it. So, which one?
Oklahoma Joe's has a gas
Oklahoma
station.
Joe's. That was it. Oklahoma Joe's. We went there. So we just kind of experienced it. You know, we had never been up there, so we got a little chance to do that on Wednesday. Thursday, kind of the same thing. A lot of cooking going on. People inviting you to come over and eat. It was already starting, so we did that. We kind of went sightseeing a little bit, and maybe, you know, just having a good time, enjoying it. But then when Thursday afternoon got there, it was time to enjoy it, to soak up the atmosphere. If you're going, go have a good time. And it was a lot of fun. I was the first KCBS I had ever cooked in my life, and still the only one that I've ever cooked. I cooked the Invitational and the Open, and I think you'll end up having an absolute wonderful time. Let's see. Jonathan said he's going to be arriving Wednesday, so great. Jonathan, look us up. You just find us. You know, we're around. I think we're in spot 472, I think, is the spot that we're in. We're over there. You won't miss it. Look for the big Grand Design trailer. I think we're in 472, so make sure you come by and say hi. Let's see, we're doing both. We're moving in on Thursday on Anna. Papa Joe, Grilling Supplies. Let's see, there's been a great show. We have team members that will be at the Royal as well. Yeah, so we're looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great time. Like I said, our film crew will be there. We're going to get a lot of behind-the-scene actions with all the barbecue pitmasters. Obviously, we're going to try to catch up with Matt. So it is going to be a great time. Matt says, bring everything you need. It's a long walk out and back into carrying things. Yes, it is. So don't overlook nothing. So any last words, David?
I'd like to invite everyone here that's chimed in or will listen to it in the future. If you're at the Royal, you want to swing in, look for my big red gooseneck trailer. I'd like to shake your hand and say hello.
Yeah, that's awesome. David, you're a great guy. There is no doubt. And if you want to know a little bit about David and what he does, I will just throw this up on the screen real quick and let you take a look at this guy's class, David Bouska. It's at Barbecue Champs. You can click on David's name, and he's got 35 videos over 7.5 hours. It's $5.99. It covers brisket, ribs, pork butt, and chicken. It is absolutely awesome. You can watch these videos 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They do not expire. There's no membership. It's a one-time purchase, and there was the food that he turned in. Just absolutely beautiful ribs, chicken, his brisket, his pork butt was all phenomenal. So this is a class that if you want to really step up the game and carry maybe one of these big trophies out, David can definitely give you a lot of pointers that will absolutely help you. If you're going to spend the money to go to the Royal and do everything, it may be worth a little bit of investment just to take a class, and he can show you a lot of stuff to take the learning curve, take the edge off, and the learning curve speeded up. So it's going to be a great time, no doubt. One other question, Merv's done asked this: how many people use food trailers for their comp trailers? I don't know.
Probably 10%.
Yeah.
Simply because comp guys evolve and they get into food cooking, and so they end up buying one, and it does dual purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, David, I appreciate you being on here. I'm looking forward to meeting you again at the Royal this year and checking out, going over there and hanging out with you. It's going to be a great time with all of us being together. We're going to try to get a bunch of our barbecue champs, pit masters together and just have a good time. And we on Facebook. We'll be going live quite a bit there as well. Make sure that you come over and meet us. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody. David, as always, man, thank you so much. Thank you for being part of Barbecue Champs Academy. You are truly an unbelievable guy, and just like Chris said, you're a legend, and long after you're gone, your products will help pave the way for many people. So I appreciate it so much, and appreciate you being part of Barbecue Champs Academy. Guys and gals, until next week, I don't know, once again, if you're kind of late into the show, if I'm going to be able to have the show next week. I'll be traveling to a competition that Joey is putting on for the Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation in El Campo, Texas. We're going to be traveling a little early, and so I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. If we can, we'll obviously post it up on our Facebook page. I may have John Lindsay actually do the podcast. I may talk to him just so we can do it. If not, and we don't make it, then we will, Lord willing, see you the following Tuesday. We're going to continue to try to bring some of our pit masters in here, talking about the American Royal, giving you guys as much advice and help and techniques and stuff. So we're going to be reaching out to Corey and to Mark Lambert and try to get some of these guys on here that have cooked the Royal, giving you all the information that you need. David, once again, thank you so much for being here. Sit tight. We'll talk real quick after we get off. And to all our listeners, we appreciate our loyal listeners always being on here. We appreciate you so much. And as we always say when we close out our videos, have a lot of fun.